Evil is an abstract! It's a human construct! But true to his irresponsible nature, man won't own up to being its engineer, so he blames his dark deeds on my ilk. But it's not enough to shadow his own existence, no. He turned hell into a suffering pit. And why? Because it is beyond your abilities to simply make personal recompense for the sins you commit. No, you choose rather to create a psychodrama and dwell in a foundless belief that God could never forgive your grievous offenses. So you bring your guilt and your inner decay with you to hell, where the horrid imaginations of so many gluttons for punishment gave birth to the sickness that has infected the abyss since the first one of your kind arrived there, begging to be punished. And in doing so, they've transformed the cold and solitude to pain and misery. I've spent eons privy to the flames, inhaling the decay, hearing the wail of the damned. I know what effect such horrors have on the delicate psyche of an angelic being. I'd rather not exist than go back to that.
You know, that article's accurate. Caitlin really is getting married.
You know what I just watched?
Me pulling a can off some moron's fist?
Return of the Jedi.
Didn't you hear me? Caitlin is really getting married.
What did you like better, Jedi or The Empire Strikes Back?
Empire.
Blasphemy.
Empire had the better ending. I mean, Luke gets his hand cut off, finds out Vader's his father, hand gets frozen, taken away by Boba Fett. It ends on such a down note. I mean, that's what life is, a series of down endings. All Jedi had was a bunch of Muppets.
There was something else going on in Jedi. I never noticed it till today. They built another Death Star, right?
Yeah.
Now, the first one was completed and fully operational before the Rebels destroyed it.
Luke blew it up. Give credit where credit's due.
And the second one was still being built when they blew it up.
Compliments of Lando Calrissian.
Something just never sat right with me that second time around. I could never put my finger on it, but something just wasn't right.
And you figured it out.
The first Death Star was manned by the Imperial Army. The only people on board were stormtroopers, dignitaries, Imperials.
Basically.
So when they blew it up, no problem. Evil's punished.
And the second time around?
The second time around, it wasn't even done being built yet. It was still under construction.
So?
So a construction job of that magnitude would require a hell of a lot more manpower than the Imperial Army had to offer. I'll bet they brought independent contractors in on that thing. Plumbers, aluminum siders, roofers.
Not just Imperials. Is that what you're getting at?
Exactly. In order to get it built quickly and quietly, they'd hire anybody that can do the job. Think the average stormtrooper knows how to install a toilet main? All they know is killing in white uniforms.
All right, so they bring in independent contractors. Why are you so upset at its destruction?
All those innocent contractors brought in to do the job were killed. Casualties of a war they had nothing to do with. All right, look. You're a roofer. Some juicy government contract comes your way. You got a wife and kids, the two-story in suburbia. This is a government contract, which means all sorts of benefits. Along come these left-wing militants and blast everything within a 3-mile radius with their lasers. You didn't ask for that. You have no personal politics. You're just trying to scrape out a living.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but what are you talking about?
The ending of Return of the Jedi.
My friend here is trying to convince me that any independent contractors who were working on the uncompleted Death Star were innocent victims when they was destroyed by the rebels.
Well, I'm a contractor myself. I'm a roofer. Done and ready home improvements. And speaking as a roofer, I can tell you a roofer's personal politics comes into play heavily when choosing jobs.
Like when?
3 weeks ago, I was offered a job up in the hills. Beautiful house, tons of property, a simple reshingling job. They told me if I could finish it in 1 day, I would double my price. Then I realized whose house it was.
Whose house was it?
Dominic Bambino's.
Babyface Bambino? The gangster?
The same. The money was right, but the risk was too high. I knew who he was, and based on that, I turned the job over to a friend of mine.
Based on personal politics.
Right, and the next week, the Foresi family put a hit on Babyface's house. My friend was shot and killed. Didn't even finish reshingling.
No way.
I'm alive because I knew the risk involved in that particular client. My friend wasn't so lucky. Any contractor working on that Death Star knew the risk involved. If they got killed, it's their own fault. A roofer listens to this, not his wallet.
Randall, I'm in too good a mood.
Because your mom slipped you the tongue?
No, because I just read online that there's going to be a live-action Transformers movie.
And?
Well, I mean, as you know, my online handle is Optimus Prime.
I know that. I wish I didn't.
Well, so, not only is it awesome that there's going to be a live-action Transformers movie, but I'm, like, positioned or whatever with the best possible net handle and email address for when the movie comes out.
Oh, you're gonna be rolling in the pussy, man.
Don't be gross.
Says the guy who was just playing tonsil hockey with his mother.
Mr. Dante!
Leave Elias alone, Randall! Don't look at his wee-wee.
Dude, the Transformers sucked.
Oh, no, they didn't. They were more than meets the eye. They could beat the pants off Ranger Danger any day.
Yeah, I'll lose sleep wonder whether you're right about that or not.
Ow.
I thought you weren't even allowed to watch a lot of TV in your house because you're all Christian and shit.
Well, as it turns out, cars and trucks that turn into robots aren't really that blasphemous. Because my pastor says that machines can turn into other machines, and it's not a slight against God.
Transformers were a total slight against God, inasmuch as God sent his only begotten Son to die on the cross to redeem mankind, and all we did to pay him back was make terrible fucking cartoons like the Transformers.
Nice shot. Well, because at Bible camp, we made this flow chart, which, I mean, I don't know, kind of like proved or whatever that... What? Okay, so
Bible camp.
Since God created man, and man created the Transformers, the Transformers are like a gift from God, Randall.
No, sir. They are not a gift from God. They are an unholy curse from the beast we call the Desolate One.
I don't really want to hear this, Randall.
The first of the fallen, the spoiler of virgins, the master of abortions.
You know I don't like to talk about dark forces, Randall.
Let me help you out of your chair, Grandma. Grandma, what was it like to be on that holiday side? Late that night, I awoke from my sleep, hearing unknown voices laughing insane.
Oh.